Today we're out on the Blue Ridge Parkway. We're going to be shooting with our brand new large format camera, the Intrepid 4x5.
We chose the Intrepid 4x5 film camera because it's brand new and it's made to order. So when you order the camera, that's when they start making it. So you know it hasn't been sitting around for a while, or that someone else had it secondhand and it's been misused or whatever, like a used camera would have. You always run the risk of having light leaks in a camera that's used. The lens we chose for the Intrepid camera is the Schneider APO Simar lens. It's a 120mm lens. I like how compact it is and how sharp it is. It's equivalent to a 35mm lens on a full frame camera, which is perfect for what me and Jules are used to for landscapes.
After years of shooting film, I've really settled on and dialed in my process with shooting primarily with Portra 400. There's a tree on the top left part of my frame that I want to get, and when the sunlight is on it, the greens they just pop out more. So I'm just gonna wait until I have the lighting that I want. When seeing the result of this shot, I immediately knew it had potential to be that photo for me that I have always desired to make a large print of. I was also definitely thrilled to find out that both exposure and focus were pretty spot on. Now, the only thing I think I would change is I think I would have tilted it up just a little bit. I feel like I'm not seeing the sky as much as I want, and I feel like the clouds are right on that cutoff line.
There's a tree with a really cool root up here. This is the Miller CX10 tripod. I first used this one on a survival show in Alaska and really liked it. And I did some research, and it is the lightest weight tripod for what it can hold as far as cameras. And the Intrepid is actually pretty light. Your depth of field on large format cameras is a lot shallower than it would be on a normal 35 or 120mm film camera. So I know f11 is kind of pushing it, but I want to see how far I can go with landscapes. Since I have HP5 in here, I think the dynamic range of the film will be able to handle from the shadows all the way to the highlights pretty well, but we'll find out. Due to the latitude of Ilford HP5, the photo turned out pretty good. I definitely can still see details in the shadows, which I'm pleasantly surprised about. So overall, I wouldn't really change a thing about this photo. It's experimental in the concept, so I would keep it the way it was.
So at this point, we realized we were running out of daylight pretty quickly, and we definitely didn't anticipate for it to take as long as it did to take each photo, but I guess that's what comes along with shooting large format. I mean, just the anxiety around getting the perfect shot with the cost of it in the back of your mind causes you to take way longer to set up your shot and make sure everything is perfectly dialed in. So at this point, I finally set up my shot, and I definitely kind of rushed this one more so than the last one, but I knew that shooting Portra 400 at this hour would really turn out beautifully. Although in this moment when I took this photo, I had anticipated being disappointed in it because I knew I didn't expose it long enough, I'm pleasantly surprised actually seeing the result of it. I mean, I still agree that I should have held it longer.
I feel like Jules was really able to encapsulate the Blue Ridge Mountains into this singular photo here. She really shows the blue hues that the mountain range give off. During sunrise and sunset, you can really see the blue hues and the soft blues in the atmosphere that are released from the isoprene in the trees, which is what makes these mountains so famous. Jules just finished taking her photo probably like 20 minutes ago. We were thinking, if we should continue shooting. And for me, shooting on the black and white like I like to shoot on, I didn't have enough contrast with this low light. I think we're gonna call it for the night. We're about to pack up our stuff because we have a decent hike back to the car in the dark. We'll either come back here at another time to finish these photos for you guys, or go to a new location. I just mounted the front of the camera here closer to the back because we're using a wide angle lens and it needs to be closer back, but there's 4 different options for whichever lens you're going to use, and the one closest to the front would be for a telephoto or something similar. I know my last shot wasn't really a landscape shot, and I meant to take a landscape shot up on the mountain, but we ran out of daylight. So I'm going to try and take a more of a landscape style shot up this creek we're at.
I only have 1 photo left, and my last photo is going to be with Portra 400. And then Andrew has 2 photos left, which he's going to continue to shoot with HP 5.
So it appears I've magically grown a nice set of black hair. But that's not true. I'm bald. I metered the highlights of the still water in the photo. After seeing the results, it looks a little underexposed, and I definitely would have tilted the camera up a tad if I had a second chance to shoot this. It's a good photo, but it's definitely not one I would like to print.
That's the spot. What I love about this area is that it feels like the Everglades almost, but in a rainforest type of environment. I'm from Florida, so the Everglades are a landscape that I've always found to be very beautiful. It is the middle of September right now, and peak fall doesn't happen for another 30 to 40 days. I love these wildflowers down here, and then the patch of grass and the water right there. And then just beyond that, there's like some fallen down trees. So I'm gonna set up my shot right here, probably get lower. Although when taking this photo, I had anticipated it being my favorite photo, it actually ended up being my least favorite photo of the three, which is a bit disappointing. You could tell that I definitely underexposed this photo, and I think what really caused that was just not wearing the proper clothing for the environment that I was in. I think that if I could go back and not be so focused on why my feet are sticking to the ground and being scared that I'm gonna get water in my boots while it's cold and raining out, I wouldn't have been so careless with my exposure on this one. But I guess that's a lesson I learned from that day. Alright, so where we were just taking pictures is right over there. This is like a famous scenic drive, and I've always looked over here and known that I wanted to walk down and take photos. But I am really excited to see how my pictures turned out. I really hope that I exposed properly and my focus was okay. It definitely takes a lot of time to set up for a shot, but that's because it's so expensive and it's every little thing, every little detail counts, and I really hope that I executed everything well.
This photo is definitely my favorite photograph of the bunch. I really like my framing. I like the foreground in the bottom right, the soft shadows created from the diffusion. I really love the shadows of the branches and the vegetation that reflect off the water. I took my time and was patient. I'm just excited with how it turned out. It is definitely a spot me and Jules want to go back to set up a blind to photograph and film some wildlife there.
So the filming process of this video has truly been a fun experience for the both of us. I mean, it's just combining all the things that we love to do the most into one thing, which is just being with our cameras out in nature and with each other. And that's truly what the heart of this channel is going to be about moving forward. And you're going to see more interests of ours as well. I mean, we like to shoot other things.
We love to shoot wildlife and nature and outdoor things like surfing and climbing and a bunch of other stuff like that. We're just going to keep documenting what we love and sharing it with you guys.
Yeah. And on top of it, I feel like we're going to be really good with like reviewing different backpacks or clothing or
Bunch of technical gear.
technical gear that works really well with when you're out in the field shooting. And I know there's a lot of people that enjoy doing what we like to do as well, so hopefully you found our channel.
And hopefully you like it. Goodbye.